Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So we have not done a Senate prediction yet for the midterms this month, and here we go. And there are 35 Senate seats up for grabs. Republicans currently hold a 53-47 majority in the United States Senate. And there's a big question: can Democrats retake it at all, given the fact that yet again they have a map that is not favorable for them whatsoever? They're going to need to run the table, and then they're going to need to win like 2 more seats in order to get the job done. And it's just not looking very likely at this stage in the game. But regardless, we're going to fill this map out. We're going to start off with the safe states, the states that are going to go 10% for either party, and then we're going to work our way down and fill out the rest of this map. But first, really quickly, guys, I have to tell you about my good friends over at Allegiance Gold. While the media is obsessing about Trump's tariff, something big is brewing and nobody's talking about it except right here. Because under new Basel III international banking rules, gold has officially been reclassified as a Tier 1 asset, placing it on the same level as cash and U.S. Treasuries. Translation: gold is money again. Just in the first quarter, thousands of tons of gold were quietly moved back to the U.S. from Europe. Meanwhile, central banks around the globe are stockpiling gold at record levels. That's not a coincidence, it's a signal. So if the world's most powerful financial institutions are hoarding gold, why aren't you? Don't wait. Call Allegiance Gold, the trusted experts that I've partnered with that have the highest ratings and accolades. They'll help you secure real physical gold and silver delivered straight to your home or placed securely inside your IRA or 401k. Go to allegiancegold.com/redeagle or call 844-790-9191. That's 844-790-9191 and mention Red Eagle. You could be eligible to receive up to $5,000 in free metals, but only if you act now, because gold is freedom, gold is sovereignty, and as of now, gold is officially money. That's allegiancegold.com/redeagle or call 844-790-9191 today. All right, guys, so we're going to fill out the safe states, the safe Republican states that are going to go red by 10 points or more. We have Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, which, watch that primary there, could get interesting, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, South Carolina, and Florida. All of those states are going to be going in the safe Republican column, and that would get the Republicans to 47 out of the gate, while the Democrats are down at 34. Now, to the Democrats' credit, 10 points or more, they'll get Oregon, they'll get Colorado, they'll get Illinois, Delaware, New Jersey probably. I know the state's getting closer, but Cory Booker shouldn't really have a problem. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, I think that's it for the safe Democrat seats here. So already you have the Republicans at 47. The Democrats are down there at 41. Now, here's the problem for the Democrats. You have several states here that voted for Donald Trump by 12 points or more, essentially 4 states that qualify for that. And I think all of them are going to be going in the likely Republican column. Ohio, Sherrod Brown might be running, but again, the guy doesn't have the incumbency advantage anymore. He's facing a tough candidate who's the incumbent this time around, and he's just put in a really weird position. Very overrated candidate. Attacks won't stick. How exactly are you going to attack your opponent for being too pro-Trump while also trying to have to appeal to Trump voters to win? Doesn't really work. Didn't work for him last time. It's going to work even less now. Husted is getting endorsements that Brown even got in 2024 from certain unions, so I think it's pretty much over as it stands now. But Democrats will dump money into that race, try to get it within like 5, and maybe they will, but they're not going to win it. So we'll go to Iowa. And this is a state where Democrats just are very delusional always for some weird reason or another about Iowa. It never happens. Donald Trump won this state by like 14 points. Democrats actually thought that they were going to win because of a poll that was like an obvious push poll before the election. It was a total disaster, and it's just not a state that they're going to compete in, especially because Republicans, Joni Ernst, she's kind of weak. She's out of the picture. Ashley Hinson is the new, I guess you would say, presumptive nominee at this point, because it doesn't seem like she has a lot of opposition. And I think she's going to go out there and win by close to 10, if not more than 10. You could even push it to safe as we get closer to the election. So Texas is the next state here. And it's going to be an interesting primary. Is Ken Paxton going to be able to withstand the onslaught of ads and the recent scandal coming from the establishment and John Cornyn? I don't know. Either way, I think Paxton probably would win a general if he got to the general. I just don't know if he's going to get to the general, and it would probably be a closer race because the Democrats would pour a bunch of money into that race. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that primary. But regardless, it seems like Allred or Tallarico, who's basically straight Pete Buttigieg, but somehow even more smarmy and just not likable. And then you have the potential of Beta running another time, jumping in that primary. I don't know if he does, but that would be enough to get Republicans to 50. Alaska would be enough to get him to 51. Mary Peltola, she seems like she's running, but I don't think it's going to matter. Again, strong incumbent senator facing somebody who is a fake moderate Democrat who was an incumbent in a lesser important office that just lost. Doesn't really work out in your favor too much. You don't see a lot of comebacks. You're not going to see one in Ohio. You're not going to see one in Alaska. So, if it's at the House level, it's one thing because some of the House races go back and forth and there's also just so many of them. But at the Senate level, a little bit of a different ball game there. So that's it for the likely red seats. They're already at 51. Let's now focus on the likely Democrat seats. Minnesota, who knows who's going to be their nominee? Things could get interesting if they put up one of these crazy people. I don't know if they will. New Mexico. You probably will see that one hold in the Democrat column there by over 5 points, maybe less than 10. Same thing with Virginia with Mark Warner. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats right here and need to be filled out. And I think we're going to start in the state of Maine because this is getting interesting. Susan Collins is an electoral juggernaut. We know that every time they talk about a prominent challenger running against her, she outruns all expectations and blows them out of the water. Now, it does seem as if on the Democrat side, you very may well be seeing Janet Mills jump in, who's their governor, but she's not all that well liked. I don't even know if she's getting through a primary, but she's also kind of old, and she's had a friendship with Susan Collins for a while, as a lot of Maine Democrats have, which is kind of interesting. I don't know why she's particularly jumping in if she is, as many reports have indicated. But I think Collins, as of right now, is the favorite. I think things can change, but I haven't seen enough evidence that would show that somebody like a Graham Plattner, who's very much a far-left Bernie bro, is trying to masquerade as like a Jerry Golden-style Democrat with rhetoric. I don't think it's really going to work when you have a lot of material for advertisements there. So New Hampshire, that's another interesting race where you got Sununu running, most likely, but it's not Chris Sununu, it's John Sununu, who's more conservative than Chris Sununu. At the same time, I do think that it's going to be a tight race. Chris Pappas, no electoral juggernaut by any means, but not a horrible candidate. He has a lot of name recognition. It's going to go down the wire. It's going to be close. I've seen polls with both of these candidates up. I don't know what I would exactly say. It's New Hampshire. I don't know if that helps or hurts in a midterm year. When it comes down to these high info voters, maybe it helps. I think it's still going to be very close. I would give the Democrats the edge. Now, Michigan's a little bit of a different story because you have a Republican who's relatively inoffensive and somebody like a Mike Rogers who is running again, and he's not facing somebody like a Slotkin this time around. In fact, he's likely going to be facing dollar store Slotkin, the psychotic Haley Stevens, who nobody likes, but the Democrat establishment is forcing through, or far-left Marxist Abdul El Sayed, that would probably lead to an even larger overperformance. I would pick Rogers to win against either one of those candidates. McMorrow seems a bit intriguing on the Democrat side. She still is relatively far left, but she, I guess you would say keeps it more together than the other candidates. Still, I don't really know if she's getting enough support to go out there and win that race. I think Michigan, as of right now, I'd even dare to put that in the tilt Republican column. We'll see what happens. But North Carolina, this is an interesting one where you have Roy Cooper running. He's a Democrat. He's the strongest Democrat they could put up for this seat. Republicans are zooming right in the voter registration data. That's true. Michael Whatley is running as the Republican nominee, or he will likely get that nomination. And he will have a lot of money because he's a hell of a fundraiser and is not really controversial. Now, it's interesting to see how this race is going to play out because Roy Cooper, he's not polling too well for somebody that's kind of like created this like image of himself as like this moderate governor in the South, more of like a folksy type of person, when in reality, the policies are more far left. You have this whole incident that took place on the train in Charlotte, which he was kind of responsible for letting this lunatic out of prison for numerous occasions when he should have been locked up. And it's not going to be a very good look for him at the end of the day. And in a close race, in a close state, in a very hotly contested election, I think that would be enough to make the difference in the world. I really do. Now, Georgia, John Ossoff voting to shut down the government. It's not really the best look for him. Republicans haven't really found a candidate either. I think it's going to be a close race. Georgia and North Carolina, two states where a midterm electorate still favors the Republican Party, unlike in places like Wisconsin, for example. I think that the state of Georgia is probably going to go to a runoff, and I will tell you who wins that when the time comes. We'll make it a bright purple. Looks better on the map. So anyways, guys, Republicans with 54, Democrats with 45, possible shot to go to 46 with the runoff. But it's like, this is actually not very good news for the Democrats because, yeah, you have pickup opportunities in North Carolina and Maine, but you also have to defend Michigan, New Hampshire, Georgia, and this whole blue wave, it's definitely not hitting the Senate. It's really not. And Republicans are inching closer and closer to that magic number of 60, and that's not really a good thing for them. And even if they do manage to run the table, it's still not enough for them. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.